Hey guys, welcome back here. In the last lecture we initialized our applications with GitHub, and in this lecture we will start working on application and we will introduce JSX. So let's start. Go to your favorite IDE. I will go to Sublime. And let's find our projects. So open, and for me I think it's here, BWM project folder, and here I am looking for BWM React. So this project that was initialized with my GitHub repository. Okay, so I'm going and open it. Alright, here is our project. I will make it bigger like this, and let's go to terminals first. And here navigate to your project, so ls for a list, and cd bwm project like this, ls cd bwm react. Alright, so I will create a screen and let's type here git branch. We are on a master, but we want to create a new branch. So git checkout and -b, that means that we will create a new branch and we will check out to this branch. Now we need to provide a name. So feature slash, and let's call it rental listing. Yeah, that's fine. Alright, let's type git branch again and verify we are on a branch and we are on a feature slash rental listing. That's good. Alright, let's go back to coding editors. And here is our React application folder structure. So let's take a look on the files. What interests us is package.json, because here we have dependencies that are required to run our application. So for now, React, React DOM, React scripts, and a script itself to start, build our application test, and so on. Alright, let's go to source folder, and this is our main folder, and we will spend here most of the time of our development. Here is app.js and this main app component here. We will talk about components in the next lessons, so don't worry. Here is an app component with a render function, and here you can see something similar to HTML. So here is a div, class name app, and some elements and some data here. Let's go to your terminals and let's start our application. So npm start. Okay, React scripts start, and this will run our development server, and we are going to browsers to localhost 3000. And let's see. Okay, so we have welcome to React and some info here. I will copy this header here. I will go back to our Sublime, and you can see welcome to React here. So this is what is rendered on a screen in our browsers. So this render function is executed and these elements here are rendered. Alright, go to index.js file. This is a very important file also, because here we are rendering our app component to a screen and we are attaching it to document, so to our page, to root element. And when you go to public and to index.html, here is a main HTML file, and here you can see div with ID of root, and here is your app component attached. So what will happen when I will change this ID for root? Let's say test, root test. I will save my application, we'll go back to terminal, and now to browsers, and now you can see we have an error here. Alright, so back to coding editors, and I will go and to index.js file here, and I will change get element by ID to root test and save it. Go back to browsers, and now it's running again. So you can see we find in a document our element root test, so this div here, and we attached our app component here, our app component from here to it, and display all of these elements. Okay, so let's go back to index.js file. Let's change it back to a root like this, and back to index.html, and I will change it for a root here. We can leave it like this. So this is an index.js file when bootstrapping of our application beginning. There is a logo file, this is just image, register service worker. It's don't interest us right now, so I can close it. Alright, so this is a base folder structure of our React application. It's not that difficult, right? It's pretty simple actually. And let's introduce now JSX. Because when I am talking about here about app.js component, this code is not either a string, not HTML template. This is a JSX code, so JavaScript extension. This all the JavaScript code you can see here. Alright, so let's take a look on an example so you'll understand. I'll remove all of these here and I'll write here I am app component like this. Save it and go to browsers. I can see I am app component on the screen right now. Perfect. So I'm rendering JSX. In the background, this is compiled to JavaScript. Everything what we're writing in a React is a JavaScript. There is no HTML here involved, just in this basic file here, index.html. Alright, with this knowledge, I will copy my class app here, and I will go to a browser. Let's go to a Babel. Let's copy this website here, and you can try it by yourself. And here I will paste a React code. And you can see it was compiled to normal JavaScript. And here I'm just calling React, create an element function. I am creating a div element with a class name application, and I'm rendering this content on a screen. And you probably notice that when we are writing here divs, elements, we are not writing a class, but class name, because this is not HTML, this is a JavaScript. Okay, so let's try it out. Let's write this chunk of code inside of our render function. So let's go here, and I can remove all of this and return in React, create an element like this. And we want to create a div element. I think the second argument was a class name, if I am not wrong. And this was an app. And here was as the third argument just some text. Let's say I am app component. So just like this. Normal return. You can see normal render function that returning whatever React created element function returns. So I will save it. I will verify that it's right. Div class name and I'm app component. Let's check it out inside of our application. And you can see I am app component. So this was rendered, and I render it with JavaScript, entirely with the JavaScript. Okay, so I will revert these changes since we will write JSX and not JavaScript here. So it was something like this. Alright, and it was centered right now. It will be centered because you can see I am using a class name of application, and these app classes are defined here, and text align center is here. Alright guys, so that should be it for this lesson. We introduced JSX. I hope you understand. If you have any doubts, just leave me a message in the comments. And we will work in a JSX very heavily, so you will get into it. And in the next lecture, I will talk more about components, and we will start working more on our rental application. So guys, see you in the next lecture.